Welcome back to HackenProof podcast. Your go-to destination for cybersecurity, bug bounty, and ethical hacking. Today with you as usual, your host Alex, and today we have a guest who actually don't need to be introduced, but still I will introduce him. It's Riptide. If you been following Web3 security, you probably heard of the hacker who uncovered a critical flaw in Arbitrum upgrade, a vulnerabilities that could have drained millions in ETH, and we will discuss it further later a bit. And also, Riptide is running his own podcast, so you should follow him definitely on Twitter to not miss latest episodes. The new one is going live in next 2 weeks probably. Not sure when that one will be published, but we'll see. So, hey man, very happy to have you here with us today. How are you?
Hello, hackers. This is Alex. This is the Alex, HackenProof CTO. This year, together with Hacken and HackenProof, we joined forces to present you next 3 bounties of this year. At Hacken, we're passionate about building and making Web3 a safer place. And we believe that without solving of complex issues, the Web3 will never be adopted in the world, in our world. So we thrilled to introduce you 3 East Denver bounty programs. In these bounty programs, you will be forced to solving complex challenges in AI agents development, in security monitors development, and even in vulnerability research in real bug bounty programs. Solving these challenges will bring you closer to our amazing bounties, which are in amount of more than 15K in US dollars. Our bounty team, composed by AI experts, blockchain security engineers, and developers, will help you during all this journey. So don't be scared, and we are here to help you. Join us in building secure future. We can't wait to see what you build. All details will be shared on Buildathon website platform. See you in ACE Denver 2025.
Good morning, blockchain participants.
Good morning.
I'm very good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for accepting the invitation. Actually, we met with Riptide in real life, uh, in Bangkok, probably. Yeah, and I know that most of people have no idea how you looks like, so I will share some info about it. The person,
I'm a black
yeah.
transgender. Uh,
Yeah, to be honest, Riptide looks like a Greece god, so he will probably won you in any push-ups training session. So don't accept any challenges with him for push-ups, pull-ups, or anything. So
I got to be careful with I think I met the Hexens crew there, who are all
Yeah.
BJJ black belts. They'll tear me apart.
Yeah, so the security is a dangerous place, isn't it?
It's
So.
very dangerous.
Yeah,
People are
it's
very
dangerous.
unassuming. You never know. But we met in Bangkok, and it's kind of the weirdest thing. I mean, I had submitted my first report through HackenProof.
Yeah,
Love HackenProof, by the way. And I submit a
thanks.
report, and then I didn't hear back, something like that. And then suddenly, I don't know why I sat down next. I think it was totally random. I grabbed some lunch. I sat down at the venue, and you said, "Oh yeah, sit down here," something like that. And you happen to be the HackenProof guy, and you said, "Oh yeah, it's Riptide. Oh yeah, I saw a report from you." I said, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, it was a really strange conversation because we had a discussion like for 10 minutes about general stuff about about DevCon, about security or something, and I asked it like, dude, what are you doing for a living? And Riptide mentioned like I do bug bounties, and I was 100% sure that I should know that person if he's doing bug bounties. so so I just asked it, what is your nickname, man? And it was Riptide, and I was like, "Wow, that's That's strange, but yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So,
And then you pointed me to what was this? This was for some EIP, right? I forget what it was. The
yeah, account abstraction
yeah,
team.
account abstract.
Yeah.
That was the bug. And then you said, "Hey, by the way, the team's over there." Who probably looked at
Yeah.
your bug? I said, "No shit." I just walked over and chatted with them about it. So
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, and actually they bring me their T-shirt. I'm not sure if you get one, but
No,
they're really nice. Okay. Maybe I will present it to you next time.
the account abstraction T-shirt. All right,
Yeah, it looks
mega geek symbol.
sus. so, yeah, as usual, I'm not sure that we really need to any further introduction, but just to be on the same agenda as we have, could you share a bit about your background before you joined Web3 security forces? I know a lot about it, but I think it's a real nice story to mention it one more time, just in few words. Yeah.
Yeah. So back in third grade, I was no. Yep. My background is a very unique background. What to myself, I think it's just not been the normal track that anyone does, and it went from uh, really deep into computers when I was a kid. I used to build computers, and this is before the internet because I'm old. And just that kind of started it. My dad used to work at a computer store when I was really young, a Mac store, and he used to bring home these Mac computers for to test so he could sell them. And these Macs were like $2,000-3,000. Like we were broke, we could never afford this. But since he was the salesman at the local Mac store, we would have the latest and greatest uh, Mac, Apple SE or whatever it was, the single unit Macs. And so I started playing with it there. And ever since I was really hooked, built our own PCs and just going forward. So always loved doing that, always messing around. I got caught for hacking our Novell network in middle school. And that was my first foray into kind of probing the systems and just trying to get unexpected outcomes. And then after that, uh, had a company doing some web work, some PHP. And then I kind of said, screw this. 9/11 happened, and I was, tricked into being super patriotic when I was young. Went and joined the army, jumped out of planes, blew things up, and went to Wall Street after that, and traveled the world. And then at some point, I'd gotten into Bitcoin at like in '09. I built a miner and stuff, and was mining a couple blocks, and that was really cool. And then I got into that because of Silk Road, because I had some back surgery, and then I had some of these pain pills, and I was like, well, I'm not using any of these. I'm done after a week. So what do I do with all these? And so Silk Road was there, and I found out, how cool that was, and just kind of went down the rabbit hole. And so I've been in the scene for a long time, and then I really didn't go full time crypto though until I got fired from my Wall Street job, which was a godsend. And then I did this whole just all in and just went bounty hunting because I saw these massive bounties. And so
Like,
that's
what was you doing as a Wall Street guy? I
I
have no
was
idea
I
what it
was
was. Yeah.
a corporate banker,
Wow.
so it's like corporate and investment banking. So I don't know if you know what that job is, but it sounds cool if you're on Wall Street, and then if you're outside of it, you're like, oh, okay, it's gay.
It sucks.
Yeah, but
I
I wanted
yeah.
to go do it because I wanted to see how the whole machine operates, and I wanted to learn something outside of what I knew, computers and everything. And so, like, I did a MBA, I did a degree in economics, all these things to climb up to those levels. And I did all that, and that was really cool. And I thought I had some career path there. And then, of course, you just a line item, and they just axed me and my whole team. And I thought, well, this is the time to jump ship and just do my own thing.
So, if you know math, the Riptide is like 100 years old man. By the way, did you have these corporate parties as in the movie Wolf from Wall Street, like with with strip girls, with cocaine, etc.
Oh my god! You know, if I had joined out of college and in the '90s or the
Okay.
noughties, maybe I don't know, but that wasn't me. I mean, I was married, I had kids, so I'm not going to be. I don't live
Like
that
I
lifestyle.
even not sure if YouTube confirmed our video after that. So,
Yeah, fuck them.
but we
Put on
don't care.
Rumble.
Fuck them. Like we have 1,000 subscribers. It's not something big to be to be
This
important
you
for
know
YouTube.
this whole topic, this whole like my podcast, this podcast, it's so niche that someone asked me like, "What do I expect to get out of it?" I say, honestly, I have no idea. I have like almost 200 subs, and like I posted something because I was the number one podcast in Honduras or something, and I'm
Just
like,
for the hustle, you know.
it's probably where everyone's VPNs are coming out of. You know, like I don't know who listens to this outside of a few people.
Like, yeah, but sometimes they leave in the comments, so I know that we doing that for people who are really interested in some stupid talks, shit talks.
Yeah, but that's cool though. I mean, that's
Yeah,
our peeps.
yeah, definitely, fellas. We trying for them, to be honest. Okay, so but it's like, I mean, Wall Street job. It's literally not related to security at all. Like when you jumped fully into security sphere, like you had zero background in security, like just this kid experience with computers, or you were curious about security before, or how it happened.
You know, I've always wanted to uh, be a hacker, like
Yeah.
always. You know, and I did that when I was a teenager. And that was just guessing passwords, and I was able to find a vulnerability and this and that, but nothing big. But I always wanted to, but I never felt like I had the chops for it. Um, and maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know, but I always had this mental block. Like I wasn't a good guy at math. You know, I'd failed some math classes and I didn't like it. But I also went to shit schools and never had any mentor or anything. So I'm not some savant, but you don't need to know all that to get into security because there's so many different ways that things could be unsecure. But I didn't really have any background in it. No, I just what I would relate to it that I've explained before is attention to detail that I learned in the
Mhm.
military and in Wall Street. It's the same thing. You have to just really pay attention to details. And when you audit code, I mean, what's the number one thing? You need to understand it and you need to pay attention to all the details, how everything works together.
I see. So you started from learning Solidity from very beginning. Like it was your first programming language, or oh
No,
no, you
I
mentioned
had
PHP.
yeah,
Yeah.
classic PHP, the lamp
Wow.
stack. But I was doing a lot with JavaScript. I think that's why Solidity kind of came easy to me.
Yeah, it makes sense. What do you think about PHP in general? Like there are so many
Fuck,
jokes
everyone hates
about
on PHP, man.
PHP.
Everyone hated on it. I mean, now I don't know, but when I was using it, I used to work at IBM like when I was 18. That was like one of my first jobs, real
Uh-huh.
jobs. And we'd make these tools on the side, and I would code in PHP. And it worked, man. Like I don't want to say anything about security because it had a lot of security problems, global variables, all these things. But for what I used it for, like it was easy to use. It was good,
Okay.
so I liked it.
No shame for PHP
PHP
people.
haters, much love to
PHP
PHP.
haters. Yeah. So, do you remember your first finding and how much time you spent to from starting learning security to get to find some? Because you haven't worked as a Solidity developer, yeah?
Never,
Is it?
never,
Okay.
no. I
Okay.
couldn't even. I mean, I went off. I think my first resource was that book, the Ethereum book from Gavin.
Ah, yeah.
That was just my Bible. Like, and it was already outdated when I was reading it, but my God, it was so cool just to read about it, how everything
They,
works.
they launch in the second edition. Do you know? Do you know about
Yeah,
it?
no, I haven't read it
Like,
yet.
wow, cool. Like
Did
they
you
publishing
check it
one
out?
chapter per month or something, but not the whole one is published.
Mm.
Or I missed something.
Yeah, that was a killer resource. I mean, it
Yeah.
took so long to get up to speed though, just not having done any of this in forever. I didn't even know what IDE to use. Like I was pulling up text edit. I I didn't know any of these things. How I just had been so far out of that zone. So getting up to speed was tough. And then I was using, I think, not hard hat, truffle at first. There weren't many good
Oof.
guides out, and just trying to get everything working was the biggest pain in the ass. Just to run a test or something like that. And then if now you have Tenderly, which I use religiously to help
Yeah.
simulate, but that wasn't out. You had to write a test. It was so slow, and so I think that's why the learning curve took me a lot longer than it should have. Like now, if you jumped in, I think you can get up to speed pretty quick.
Yeah, since we have much more learning resources, and now we have Foundry, Tenderly, and a lot of cool tools.
Yeah, it's so great now. We're getting more and more people on board. But to your original question, yeah, the first bug, yeah, I think it was like $1,000 that I earned, and it was almost like a pity payment because I was arguing through ImmuneFi with the project, this and that, and he was kind of like, okay, thanks, we appreciate it. We'll give you $1,000, and I was like, oh my god, it
Just
worked.
shut
Yeah,
up.
yeah, I got paid. I was blown away.
Wow, wow! And how much time it took for you from start
Months, I
till
don't
the
know, months.
a
Probably,
month? Oh,
probably like
it's not much.
I don't know, 2-3 months of nothing, just not even knowing what I was doing.
What was the bug? Like wrong
Oh, it
solidity version
you
used?
know it. it was like one of the bugs where technically it's a bug because they labeled it as it was permissionless, and so you
Hmm.
can get in there and you can create a permissionless LP pair, and
Hmm.
that could be totally with two vampire tokens or something crazy
Ah,
like that. Because I'm
yeah.
new, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, look, it's a fucking vulnerability, and
Just check it out. Like it
yeah.
shouldn't work like that.
But I'm telling you, that gave me more gas in the tank to say like, oh shit, hey, look at this, I got paid. What's up now? And so I kept going, and just
FOMO.
yeah, man, it's like people say that when you have your own e-commerce business or own business doing whatever, and you make your first sale, and it validates whatever the hell you're wasting your time on, and
Yeah,
that's what this just did.
yeah. And okay, then let's jump into more interesting cases. Could you share your worst bounty payout experience? I probably know a few cases, but uh, what you don't like in doing bug bounties? Okay, for who don't know, Riptide is doing bug bounties as his main job right now. You don't work anywhere,
I work
like.
for my podcast.
Yeah, off
no,
for podcast.
no, yeah,
It's really good revenue stream. I know what I'm talking about.
that's dude. I and on another point, like as far as that's all I do for work, pretty much. And like I see things on crypto Twitter about people making so much money a year doing auditing, this and that.
Yeah,
Hey man, much respect to you. I certainly don't. Like I don't make all this money doing like some years are good, some years are bad, some months are good, some months are bad. You just don't know. Like somebody posted yesterday, I think it was OK Security or something, and he's like, "Hey, I haven't found a bug in 4 months."
yeah, 4 months. Yeah.
And I was gonna respond, but I was like, "Man, I'm gonna make him feel like shit," because honestly, I average like 2 bugs a month, but those
Hmm.
bugs could be 5 grand each. Big
Hmm.
deal. Okay, because you spent all month trying to find these things. So, but some bugs are, then you'll hit like a 20K or 50K, and then it's like, okay, wow, this is good money. But you
Yeah,
don't know what it's going to be, and like the uncertainty and going with no money is probably the toughest part of this whole game. So, like, I'd say the thing that I don't like about it is, the uncertainty, all that stuff. That's just part of the game. What I don't like is dealing with when people come into play
yeah,
and it happens so often. Devs are unresponsive. You tell them the bug, and then my god, it takes a month to get paid. Sometimes 2 months I think is my longest just wait time, just fucking waiting to get paid after they've told you, hey, 24 hours to get you paid, and you're waiting 2 months later,
Yeah,
constantly
yeah,
pinging them. And I mean, that's a pain in the ass.
definitely.
So dealing with
And
humans, yeah, that's the problem.
yeah, especially if it's a big organization already, the
Yeah.
decision making process in accepting the payouts is a really thoughtful and long process, definitely.
And I've noticed more protocols that I deal with are it seems like less of them are like the old, a year or two ago. I mean, not even that long ago. It's just a few guys and the devs run the whole show, the whole treasury, everything. There's no multi-sigs. It's like, yeah, no problem. Boom, set. And now it's like some project I've never heard of is suddenly this huge organization. I have to sign some bullshit with lawyers. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This is for like a few grand.
Yeah, and the like some people really think that when you're publishing something that you got paid like huge money, yeah, they think like, okay, this dude earning the same amount of money each 2 days.
Yeah, I
But
know.
it's never like
That's
that.
why I like to put the payout amounts just to show everybody and say, hey, look, this bug was, what do I have that other one where I totally destroyed dairy, that weird
Mhm.
weird protocol that no one's ever heard of,
I
and
heard.
yeah, but it
Because
was
I
like
read, yeah,
it
right.
was like 10 grand,
Yeah.
and I was like, if I didn't put the amount, people would be like, my God, oh, 7-figure bounty, you know. But it's like, no, I'm sorry to say, but the big bounties are are difficult, very difficult to find, and getting paid on those. I'm amazed when I read stories of people just getting paid quickly on those. I mean, good for them, but fuck, man, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not a rule. It's more than exception.
Yeah.
What was the longest streak without bounty payouts for you?
Uh, yeah, it was when I first started. I mean, you know, 2-3 months at a time. I get a little
Hmm.
bounty, and then 2-3 months again, and then I got the Arbitrum bounty.
Yeah,
And to that, I mean, that was luck too, man. I mean, it's luck. It's being in the right place, right time, and it's there's some skill in there as well. Just happen to check something, but a lot of that's chance too. A lot of all these bounties, man, the live bounties, you could have been checking it the day after they upgraded the contract,
yeah.
instead of the day before. You just don't know.
And do you, what you felt when you found the Arbitrum issue? Like Arbitrum is a huge project, and uh, did you have any plan to find exactly issue in Arbitrum, or it was just a spontaneous decision, or how you found it?
Well, that time I had this technique of like I had this bookmarks folder of all these projects that I'd look at, and then
Hmm.
I'd bookmark different contracts that had something interesting in them. So I pull that folder down, and it'd be like 50 contract or 50 folders within there, all these different projects, and then Arbitrum was one of them.
Hmm.
And the only reason is because I was on crypto Twitter, and I saw that they say, hey, Nitro's coming soon, Nitro's coming soon. And
Oh
I
wow.
just thought in my mind, I was like, well, whenever people change shit, then things happen that they may not expect. So really just that was staying on the ball with some project. I think I had alerts set up on their Twitter account. I wanted to check it right after they deployed, and I just happened to come across it, man. Just
Did,
chance.
yeah, that's cool. And how you searching for issues, right? And not for issues, for new projects, like uh, how to choose the right target to focus on it.
Uh, I wonder if anyone's got my method, like what I use, because I don't know. I think it's pretty unique to me the way I hear about how other people work online. So I just like literally I'll randomly check a block on the blockchain. If I have no targets, that's like the worst because I say, okay, I have no threads to pull. I'm just randomly searching for something, and so I'll just check a block and pull a transaction out of there, or look on. crypto Twitter. Maybe there's a project that just launched. And what happens is
Mhm.
I'll pull up a contract or even an EOA and I'll just look, see who they're interacting with. What are they doing? And
Oh.
then if I see a function that I haven't, um, I don't even see the function names. I just read function signatures. I'm in the matrix and I just pull up something to look at. And I end up with 50 tabs open and I'm not even on the original thing that I wanted to look at. But in that kind of line of research, now I've looked at so many different contracts. I'm aware of all these other projects. And I just kind of take notes and keep a lot of things in my head and end up finding just obscure protocols with some weird bug. That's how you'll see me like on Twitter. I'll tag
Yeah.
whatever. Who did I tag? Like Portal Gaming, one recently
Yeah.
one, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I just found their contract. I found some bug in there, but like random things where you don't see them on bug bounty platforms, or maybe they're in some different countries that the West doesn't see. And but that's kind of my method. And sometimes I'll pause and go really deep on one project. Like say they have, really high TVL or just really unique code that I haven't seen before. But there's no saying that I'll sit on that for too long, or I don't know. So I just kind of jump around a lot, and as long as I enjoy what I'm reading, enjoy what I'm doing, then I keep doing it. But if I'm stuck on one thing, like if you say, "Hey, man, you have to read this project for 2 weeks straight," I kind of
Whoa.
get antsy. I'm like, "Oh fuck, man, this is really."
So many lines of code.
Oh,
It's really a nice method actually. I really curious. Have you had a situation when you found a vulnerability in the smart contract and have no idea who is the owner of that contract?
oh, plenty of
Like
times.
where to where to message?
Yeah.
like,
Well, you
like
you cross reference it against anything you can, like GitHub, Twitter, the web, anything. Like you look for certain patterns of the code to kind of try to match that somewhere else, or look at the deployer, trace back the deployer. Sometimes it could be tough to find, especially some Asian projects. If you don't know, you have no idea what this is. But
and
yeah,
why they did
it,
it?
it,
Like why?
honestly,
What was the purpose?
I'll go to X. I'll go to X kind of after digging it a bit because if they have a Discord and it's a support ticket, and I'm like, dude, I've done that so many times where it's such a pain in the ass that I could just post on X, hey, who's got this? And 90% of the time, someone's like, hey, boom, you're in contact immediately with the dev. So that usually works.
Oh, yeah, but sometimes I'm checking your Twitter and it's really totally random project name. Who knows somebody from their team?
Well, like Coinex. I mean, that was you guys.
Yeah,
You guys say, "Hey, by the way, we got a bounty on him here." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool.
yeah,
Thanks for reaching out."
it worked.
Yeah,
Yeah, and not the best resolution of the case, but anyway,
yeah,
they paid for. We still work, you know.
yeah, yeah. It wasn't on you guys. It was some
Yeah, yeah, I
projects are just
know.
crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
sometimes it happens. Like it's really the game, you know. Bug bounties, yeah, you can trust anybody. You can't just can't. Like even the huge project can really try to scam you or something like that. But by the way, could you share more insights from your Arbitrum case resolution? Like what exactly happened and what do you think about it? Are you satisfied with case resolution or not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to dwell in the past, but the team, I look at it from their point of view, and they obviously want to pay the bare minimum. That was their
Hmm.
attitude, and they lowballed me initially, and so I had to come back with more scenarios that showed I could exploit this pretty big, and then they basically doubled their offer, and
Hmm.
then they basically wouldn't budge after that, and then Immunify their mediation thing at the time wasn't that good. That didn't help at all, and so we were at an impasse, and I said, all right, it is what it is. I mean, at the time, I think 400 ETH was like 1,500. And in
Hmm.
my mind, I'm just like, well, I'll just hold it till ETH is 10K. So, I'll make this bounty worthwhile no matter what.
Still holding, like
That's right.
bullish on Ethereum.
Of
Oh,
course, man. I'm
that's
I'm
good.
a huge ETH bull, and I don't really trade, man. Like I was doing all that DeFi craziness during DeFi summer, and I lost a lot of
Man,
money, gained a lot of money, lost a bunch, but
like
in the
the
end,
same as on Wall Street, like you're just doing the same thing in different area.
yeah, and it's a lot of stress, man, a lot of leverage, and I really spend too much time, in bug bounty hunting to do anything else. So I just hold ETH, and I know it's going to take time, but you can't convince me that it's not going to outperform in the long term. Short term, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen, but long term, that's my call. That's my bet. But in the
Yeah,
meantime, I just focus way too much time on bounty hunting, to be honest.
yeah. They did so many nice things that I also really bullish on them. Maybe they have some issues with marketing. It's some. It's kind of funny when Solana or other big projects starting bullying Ethereum.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
do
it's
something.
good. Bring on the competition. It should be
Yeah,
like that, and that's what's going to cause more innovation and people to act quicker. And I like all the competition, and there's so many chains out there. It's insane. Every day it seems like a new chain, new project. You can't keep up. So I think everyone can take a piece from from the ecosystem, but in the end, a lot of that first mover stuff that people said wouldn't happen in the early stages of Bitcoin. Look,
hmm
man, it's happened with Bitcoin. It's happened with Ethereum. It's still
yeah.
happening.
So the next question will be when Riptide Layer 2 roll up on Ethereum.
Hey, I should do some cash out thing. Yeah, just launch my own chain.
By the way, have you had any plans about launching your own DeFi protocol? I mean, like you read so many code bases probably and maybe found a lot of bad design decision or something like that. And have you had any plans to launch something on your own?
I thought about it, but I never really fully explored it. If you want to make some money, I think that's the way to do it. Is launch your own protocol, do something
Token.
innovative. Yeah, there's so much money coming into the space at all times. I think you could put something out there. I mean, thing is, like those are already being built and have been built. Very secure lending protocols, DeFi protocols,
Hmm.
and devs way better than me are out there building these things. I think I'd be good to advise on these projects, but am I the one who's going to really care about leading the DeFi, some DeFi protocol? I don't care that much, man. I'd rather try to break it. Like I've noticed where my strengths are, so that's why I never move forward.
Yeah, that makes sense. But still, you can trade meme coins. Launch the meme coins. There is not much development needed in.
I know. I never got into one, man. I don't know. It just wasn't interesting. I know from a gambling perspective, like it's cool and everything. If you want to gamble, go ahead. But for me, I'm just like, I see what it is. It's gambling. I'm not really a gambler.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that this thing is happening because it's really gamble and not a healthy behavior on the market. But the reason is the demand, and it would never happen if the people didn't want it. So
Yeah.
uh, just looking how it goes.
I think it's cool. I'm very much a guy who thinks you should be able to do whatever you want. If you want to take
Yeah.
drugs, you want to gamble, just have freedom and you're an adult. Do what you want to do. You want to get blown out? Well, hey, go for it, man. I think
Yeah.
CT skews everything with, oh, everyone's making millions on these meme coins. When you look at the data, they're not. And everyone knows that. But you only see these outliers like, oh, I made fucking
I
100 million
did
on this. Like, dude, most people
like
are getting fucked.
like pump fun shared their stats from the platform, and there was around like 60 people earned 1 million or more on pump fun. 16,
Oh my God.
like
16.
six zero 60. Yeah, and like from millions who launched meme coins, like their stats is
Yeah.
not really good.
Everyone's
So
buying a lotto ticket. That's all it is.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
ones who always are winning are the insiders. Look at the
yeah,
Trump coin, Melania, all these things. If you add the inside info, you can make a hell of a lot of cash.
yeah. Now the crime is legal, yeah, as Zach mentioned. like,
I think the
like,
biggest players in crypto have always been the guys launching the protocols with all the allocations, launching the tokens. That's how you really make some crazy amount of money.
yeah, and if you work as a core team member, yeah, you always have these insights which you can use somehow,
Yeah.
probably. Okay, tell us your favorite story. I mean, like your favorite findings so far. Some which you're really proud of.
Well, my personal ones,
Yeah, yeah, your personal one.
oh, then I'd have to let go of some secrets here. Uh,
Like, may I mention 10, top 10?
yeah. God, like I have this my notes.md folder or
Mhm.
file. It's just there's so many great findings in here, and I mark them as completed and this and that. Like I'm doing this thing on my podcast where I do this alpha drop every
Uh-huh.
episode. I don't know if you heard it, but like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
listened both episodes. Yeah.
I take one of my tips and I drop it in there, and hopefully the guest does too. But that recent one was like something that I started using a lot recently. This breaking the
Uh-huh.
chain kind of thing. Um,
Can we share any alpha for us today,
oh shit, I didn't have one ready. Let me see
please?
here.
Okay.
I would say just uh, all right. Well, let's think about LLMs, right? I don't
Okay.
know if you're using those as well.
Like,
No, I mean, for
what is that?
well, yeah, right. Look how it's transformed everything. But I mean,
Yeah.
for say for finding bugs, right? Because you guys
Uh-huh.
do audits over there as well, right?
Yeah.
On your side. So LLMs are very interesting because you can get really lazy, throw at the whole code base and say, hey, find all the bugs. And obviously it doesn't. It gives you a bunch of crazy ideas. But what I like about it is say you're hitting a wall and you're like, okay, what does this think about it?
Oh yeah.
And it can waste so much time. Honestly, it puts you right into dead
Yeah.
ends. But it also can give you some ideas that may not be applicable to that project. But you may say, hey, wait a minute. Like it was talking about something recently. It was the differences between using ETH personal sign versus EIP 712
Hmm.
signatures and replayability. And I was thinking about a different project that used the personal sign, and it was doing cross chain stuff and just simple stuff like these bugs are known, but there's so many bugs out there that kind of just having
Yeah.
Claude kind of refresh my memory on things. And I take more notes, but it's like there's so many things to look out for. I think that's a good idea sometimes. Just pop in an LLM and say, hey, what can this tell me about another code base, or just kind of extrapolate, and maybe it opens your mind a bit to look differently somewhere else.
Oh yeah, really, it makes sense. Like to get source of new ideas when you're really stuck with the code base. Uh, are you using a bunch of them or specific one? Which one is your favorite?
My favorite's got to be Claude.
Oh
I've
yeah,
been trying DeepSeek.
plus here.
Yeah, I've been trying to do DeepSeek too. So, but I don't use it that much. I just like just I try not to use it that much because it just wastes time. To be honest, I have not got that many good results out of it. But it's so interesting to just see what it comes up with that I tend
Yeah.
to refer to it like, okay, what the fuck are you talking about?
But this is also the type of the competition of the competition which you mentioned before. Like more competition on the market, more LLMs for us as consumers in the future. So also really excited how it will go.
Uh,
But to be honest, I don't believe that they spent 5 millions only. It can't be true. Like it
it's the
can't.
Chinese, man. You're not getting the
Yeah.
truth. We know that. I don't care how they did it. I mean, it's cool to just have things that are open source.
Yeah. So, uh, favorite finding? Do you have any which you would like to share?
Favorite finding?
Yeah,
Um, Not off the top of my head. No.
one of them. Okay.
When I come up with another good one, you're going to see a write up. It'll be
Yeah.
a nice juicy one. I always say look at a lot of these audit firms try to overdo their audits, and which is great, and they have all these big brains, really smart guys, and they they can get lost in the weeds and just miss simple bugs. That's happened to me
Yeah.
more than 3 4 times that I've found some simple bugs that were missed by 3 different audit firms, and it's shocking. And I'm like, this is a transfer from this, the same address to the same address, and it would increment, it where it shouldn't, and it's just like you missed this basic thing, but then you found this crazy rounding thing deep in this,
Yeah.
so stuff like that, man, it'll just surprise you on what you could find. You go in there with like an idea of what you're going to see in a code base or a pattern in mind, and you're looking at different things, and almost the majority of the time it's always something brand new.
Yeah. It seems like this is a new trend, like launch a crowdsource contest or something like that right after the general audit is done. To look at the same code base after the famous auditing firm and find something like that. But if we are talking about bug bounties, I think, and if the company don't have a public bug bounty program, I think it's almost impossible to get paid for low, mediums issues. Yeah, like just the critical one can count. Or what you think about it?
No, I'd say you can get paid. I've gotten paid
Oh, really?
off, yeah, programs that have had no bounties. I don't prefer that because you're totally in the dark. You have no idea. You have no idea who this team's going to be, or how they're going to deal with security. But I prefer having a bounty just to have some clear numbers at least. But that can also be disappointing. You see a very low bounty for taking down the whole system, and it's just like,
Hmm.
well, that sucks. you know, what do you do?
So they pay for low mediums, or it depends, or like what is the stats? I mean, like it's much harder to protect bounty for low medium severity issues. Even I sharing that from my point of view, like in terms of triage team on the bug bounty platform, like it's really hard to give a full understanding for a team why they should pay for that if it doesn't have critical impact for their protocol. That's why I'm curious how many non-public companies paying for that kind of issues.
Yeah, I'd say it's a mixed bag. If like let's take for example denial of service bugs,
Yeah.
and some that you'd show, hey, it's going to cost the attacker money, and there's no benefit to the attacker. Those have a low likelihood of getting paid uh, in my experience. But
Mm-hmm.
other DOS bugs where they have to, where you could very cheaply deny, say like a vesting allocation or something like that for pennies, and then they have to redeploy the contract to fix it.
Mm.
Those are some that the team would pay out because
Okay.
it's like, hey, clearly someone can just really fuck with us for very cheaply. But if it's like, oh no, it would cost them thousands to attack us and there's no benefit, well, it's probably not going to happen. And I side with them on that. It's like, hey, cool bug, but in reality, probably no one's ever going to exploit it.
So yeah, it makes sense, and it seems like searching for live bug bounties looks similar to. Okay, no, forget about my question. What do you think about CTFs? Have you participated in any?
No,
like this one which Remedy published a few weeks ago. It
no.
was
I don't know why people do that.
yeah.
I don't.
I
Okay,
knew
it's a
the
challenge,
answer.
but
That's
like every day is a challenge, and I have the reward of where I could find a lot of money if I do a CTF. I don't. Are there rewards to CTFs?
the last one has
How
had
much?
like the first place got 20K probably.
Okay, I don't know.
So
Too
it
many
was
people
nice.
you're in competition with,
Yeah.
and
Like, but in live bug bounties, you have competition with the whole world.
oh, I don't know. I don't know who's looking at these obscure contracts. Maybe no
uh,
one. But I know on these CTFs, it's like a time boxed event. Hey, here's the problem to solve, this and that. And I just know my schedule and my other commitments where I'm just not going to be able to put as many hours in
yeah.
a 5 day thing as the 19-year-old who's like Red Bulling all night. I
Don't
know he's
sleep
going to
at all,
dominate.
like
Yeah.
for last 2 weeks.
I'd rather look at something over a month and just do it whenever I wanted rather than, okay, 20 grand's your possible reward and you're going to put in tons of effort. Yeah, no, thank you.
How many hours you can spend for auditing during the day to be productive?
I'd say it used to be like 4 and where I was kind of getting burned out, but now I've somehow been able to get more hours in,
Oh
like
wow,
6, 7 hours.
it's a lot
Um,
for staring at the
I know.
lines of code.
But now I've found that not don't have too much caffeine, and you need to, for whatever your body is like, regulate your caffeine does so it doesn't burn you out, and then make sure you get an hour of exercise, go to the gym, get some sun, just try to balance so you're not just sitting there 7 hours at the screen,
Mhm.
but you're over the whole day. Maybe you get that in. That's the
So,
idea.
so you don't drink coffee?
I do. I live in
Oh.
Italy. I got to drink coffee.
Yeah, coffee is a rule
Crazy. Yeah.
there. Okay, and okay, the recommendation to not burn out, gym or something else? How
Always
you
gym.
fighting with? Okay,
If
gym.
you are a
That's
male,
why you looks like a great guy.
if you are a male, and I
Like
looked at my
many.
podcast stats, it's 100% male listeners. So all these guys, you have to go out and just jack some weights at the gym. Do some calisthenics, do something physical to have that physicality, because we know you're smart. We know you can do all that. But if you can't open your bottle of Soylent, you got a problem. You know, you need to get out there and be physical.
Yeah, that
And it opens
definitely.
your mind too. Even taking a walk will help
Yeah,
you
just to
walk through
refresh
problems.
your thoughts, maybe finding new ideas. It's definitely
Absolutely.
really needed for everyone. The you mentioned that 100 of your audience are boys. Are really same for us. Like probably few weeks ago, we got the submission on HackenProof from the girl woman, and I was like, no
Impossible.
chances is that she's real. Like no
Yeah.
chances. We
Yeah.
need to ask her for QIC. It will be the first girl auditor on a platform. Maybe not, but seems like that. Like
That's
very
what
seems
Dead
that's yeah.
Roses was telling me that on the podcast, that he thinks women could do it. Bulgarian women. And I
Something
said,
in the food, definitely.
oh man. Yeah, show
but
me. But
first, but first, they should shave the head.
shave the
Because
head. That's
yeah,
right.
like
Get the G
all
Wagon,
bald
shave the
Bulgaria.
head.
Like only bald Bulgarians can find all critical issues in your protocol.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
It's just not geared toward, there's no human element to what we do. There's no caring, there's no kind of feminine traits that they like to engage with, real conversation, none of that stuff. It's all highly technical, and men are just geared towards that engineering thing. So yeah, I doubt it. I don't think it's going to change.
Yeah, but that's the very same. Not a problem, but stats is in general IT. Like there's still maybe 20% of engineers in the whole market are women's, and it's not a problem. It's more like we have much more geyser bodies. Like the average stats of crypto event is like one woman for 100 boys.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you see the woman on crypto event, something wrong is happening.
If there's a woman
Trust me.
who's not in marketing at one of those events or not trying to grift, and she's actually a deep technician, those
Yeah.
are outliers. I'm talking about generalities, and that's it's all men. Of course, you get some
But
outstanding outliers that are there. Hey, great, but that's not the norm.
I met head of engineering in Uniswap team, and she is a girl. Imagine.
There's your outlier. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So okay, seems like we go to the last question so far. So if you can give one advice to our listeners how to be successful in bug bounties, which advice would you give?
I would say talk to Barracuda, who's number one on the ImmuneFi charts, and go ask the asymmetric research team how the hell they find all these massive bugs. Because
Bro, they're crazy.
I am a
Yeah.
humble Chad, and my method may not work for you. So you need to just show up every day and keep after whatever goal you have with bug bounty hunting. And if that's focusing on one project until you've read every single line of code, maybe that's it for you and maybe you'll find the bugs that way. But whatever it is, you have to show up every day and do the work.
Yeah, 100%. The funny thing about asymmetric research is that I invited them for a podcast as well, but they declined. So, guys, if you really want to
My
hear
request
all
is still pending
insights,
with them. We'll see.
yeah, yeah.
Fingers
If you're,
crossed.
if you're, I hope for you, buddy, because I really want to hear some insights from them. Like those guys are crazy. They are a lot of them are from ex Project Zero, Google Project Zero team, and for people who don't know, it's probably one of the best security team in the world. Yeah,
Mm.
looking for all 0 days on a market in all applications, like the crazy stuff. I searched several their researchers, and they're crazy.
I have a
Like,
feeling a lot of their bugs are from non solidity.
yeah, definitely, it's protocol level bugs mostly,
Mm-hmm.
like layer one, and yeah, just check their websites. There are a lot of cool alpha, but really want to hear something
We'll
from
see. We'll
personally
see who
from
gets
them.
them on
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Let's tag them. Let's spam their Twitter and and ask them out for Riptide podcast,
I'm
please.
in.
I
What's
will
your
support
event
you.
that I'll see HackenProof at?
Um, okay, I will be somewhere behind to and holding hands, like, yeah, please share everything. Okay, I think that's it. Do you have something else what you would like to share with our listeners?
No, and I think you didn't understand my question there. I was saying, where will I see you guys next? Which crypto event
Ah,
are you going
oh,
to?
sorry. I literally missed that question. Me personally, I'm going to East Denver this winter,
Oh,
February.
no way. You're
So,
crazy. I'll never go
are
again.
you?
Yeah, I'll never go
Are
there
you
again.
going as well?
No,
No. Why so?
absolutely not.
You hate it?
Yeah, I won't go again. No, I'll go to
Uh,
Europe or abroad, not going to the
I
US.
see. So probably we definitely 100% we will be at ETHCC in France. I don't remember in which city this year, but this summer, ETHCC, we will be there. And I think a lot of people will be there. So hope to catch you there as well.
Yeah, maybe. Sounds good, man.
It should be a really big conference. And there, it will be in Cannes. Yeah, really. So seems like a really nice city for vacation with wife and children after the conference.
All right, maybe I'll show up.
Okay. I hope to see you there. So thanks for being with us today. It was a Hack and Proof Security podcast with Alex and Riptide. See you in next episode, guys. See you. Bye bye.